Hi students, today we're going to continue or look on la comunicación, communication. Now in the previous class you learned how to state that you like a particular device, and you also learned how to give a reason by using an adjective. Now we're going to more or less be doing the same thing in this class. However, we're going to be using a different verb. So in the last class we focused on using gustar, meaning like. However, for this lesson we're going to be using preferir, which means to prefer. Alright, so we're going to be dealing with your preferences, and we're going to be comparing the different devices. So when we want to find out someone's preference, right, so we want to find out if they prefer a particular device, the question we can ask is ¿Cuál prefieres? ¿Cuál prefieres? And this means which do you prefer? Now, to respond to the question, you can simply respond by saying yo prefiero, meaning I prefer. And whatever it is that you prefer would go on the line. So let's say, for example, alright, here I have an iPhone 6 and I have an iPhone 8. So we want to find out from persons if they prefer, which one they prefer, if they prefer the iPhone 6 or if they prefer the iPhone 8. So the question would be, ¿Cuál prefieres? ¿El iPhone 6 o el iPhone 8? Meaning, which do you prefer? The iPhone 6 or the iPhone 8? So that's the example. Another example, this time with the response. So let's say you prefer the iPhone 6. So you would say, yo prefiero el iPhone 6. Meaning I prefer the iPhone 6. So let's review again. So when you want to find out from somebody, what do you prefer? Which do you prefer? The question is, ¿Cuál prefieres? Y para responder, to respond, you can simply say, yo prefiero, meaning I prefer. Now, I did a short survey to find out which device some persons prefer. Alright, so let us see what they had to say. So this is Keisha, alright? Now, I wanted to find out if Keisha preferred to use the tablet or if she preferred the phone. So I asked Keisha, ¿Cuál prefieres? ¿El teléfono o la tableta? Meaning, which do you prefer? The telephone or the tablet? Now, Keisha responded by saying, yo prefiero el teléfono porque es más pequeño que la tableta. Alright, and I want us to just focus on her response for a bit. So let us talk about what Keisha said. So again, she said, yo prefiero el teléfono porque es más pequeño que la tableta. And her response simply means, I prefer the telephone because it is smaller than the tablet. Now I want us to look on the adjective. You will notice that it ends with an O. Notice we have pequeño, and that is because el teléfono is masculine. So if the device is masculine, meaning that it has the article el, then the adjective also has to be masculine. So Keisha's response is simply saying, I prefer the telephone because it is smaller than the tablet. So let us look on the structure below. So we use this whenever you want to say that something is bigger than or smaller than or more expensive than or more useful than, more important than. Alright, I think you get the picture, right? So we use this structure below whenever we are comparing two things. So it is yo prefiero, then you put the object, porque es más, then you put the adjective, then you put que, then the other object. Now what does all of that mean? It's simply saying, I prefer, then you put the object. So I prefer the phone. Then porque es means because it is more, so more useful, more expensive. Is it bigger? Is it better? Is it smaller? Whatever it is. So you put your adjective there than the other object, right? So let's go again. So it's yo prefiero, then you put the object, porque es más, you put the adjective, que, the other object. So right here I have Keisha's response again. So she said yo prefiero. Then the object in this case would be el teléfono, porque es más, and then her adjective right here is pequeño, que. Then the other object in this case would be la tableta. So I prefer the telephone because it is smaller than the tablet. As long as you follow this structure, then you can't go wrong. So remember, to state that a device that you prefer is smaller or bigger or more expensive or more useful, whatever the adjective is, this is the structure that we use. So yo prefiero, I prefer the object or the device, porque es más, because it is, then you put the adjective, que, the other object. Alright? Now the adjective you select, it must match the device. So if the device is masculine, meaning that it has the article el, then the adjective must also be masculine. If the device is feminine, meaning that it has the article la, then the adjective must also be feminine. Alright, so the survey didn't just stop with Keisha, so I went ahead and I found out what Akeem had to say. So I asked Akeem more or less, yes, the same question. So I wanted to find out if we prefer the phone or the tablet. So I said, Akeem, ¿cuál prefieres, el teléfono o la tableta? Alright, and Akeem responded by saying, yo prefiero la tableta porque es más barata que el teléfono. So let us look on what Akeem said. So again, he said, yo prefiero la tableta porque es más barata que el teléfono. And this means I prefer the tablet because it is cheaper than the phone. Now in this example, you will notice that the adjective ends with an A. Why is that so? Because la tableta is feminine. So because la tableta is feminine, so the adjective also has to end with an A. So remember, to state that you prefer, that the device that you prefer, to tell somebody that it is smaller or it is bigger or it is more useful than or more expensive than the other device, this is what you say. Yo prefiero, I prefer. You put the device that you're referring to, porque es, because it is, then you put the adjective, que, the other object. However, the adjective that you are using, it must match the device. So if the device is masculine, meaning that it has the article el, then the adjective must be masculine. If the device is feminine, meaning that it has the article la, then the adjective should also be feminine. Bueno, let's continue. Vamos a continuar. Now, let us see what Kim had to say. So, I asked Kim a different question. So I wanted to find out from Kim if she preferred the tablet or the computer. So I asked Kim, ¿cuál prefieres, la tableta o la computadora? Now Kim responded by saying, yo prefiero la tableta porque es menos cara que la computadora. Now I want us to just focus a bit on what Kim has said. So, Kim says, yo prefiero la tableta porque es menos cara que la computadora. Meaning, I prefer the tablet because it is less expensive than the computer. Now, if you notice en este ejemplo, in this example, the adjective ends with an A. ¿Por qué? Why? Because la tableta is feminine. So because we have la tableta, we have to have cara. Alright, let's continue. So I want us to look on the structure that we have below. Whenever you want to say something is less expensive than, or less cheap than, or less modern than, well, it doesn't really matter whichever adjective. Alright, so as long as you want to say it's less, whatever the adjective is, than the other object, this is what you are going to say. Yo prefiero the object porque es menos, then you put the adjective que the other object. So I prefer the device, the object, whatever it is, because it is less, put the adjective, than the other object. So let's look again on Kim's response. Now if you notice Kim's response, it follows the structure. So she says, yo prefiero la tableta, I prefer, then she has the object which is la tableta, porque es menos, then she has her adjective, que la computadora. Alright, so as long as you follow this pattern, you will be fine. So let's go another time. So to state that the device you prefer is less modern or less versatile, less expensive, less cheap, whatever it is that you want to say, alright, this is the structure that you would use. Yo prefiero, then you put the object, porque es menos. I prefer the object because it is less, then you put the adjective, than the other object, alright? But again, the adjective that you select, it must match the device. So if the device is masculine, meaning that it has the article el, the adjective must also be masculine. If the device is feminine, meaning that it has the article la, then the adjective should also be feminine. So let's review another time. When you want to find out what somebody prefers, right? The question is, ¿cuál prefieres? Y para responder, to respond, you simply say, yo prefiero. Alright, so that's the question, that's the response. But when you want to give a reason for the response, when you want to give a reason, right? We say, porque es, meaning because it is. Now, this is what you follow when you want to say that the object is more, so more user-friendly, more expensive, it is bigger, it is smaller, alright? So this is the structure that we use. Yo prefiero, and you put the object, porque es más, you put the adjective, que the other object, alright? Now if you want to state that it is less, so it is less expensive, it is less versatile, it is less cheap than the other object, then this is the structure that we use. Yo prefiero, then you put the object, porque es menos, you put the adjective, que the other object, alright? So in short, más, you put the adjective on the line, que means more than, alright? So más que, more than. Whereas menos, dash que, less than. So más que, more than, menos que, less than. Alright, adios. Thanks for watching.